Hello and welcome. This is Kevin, also known as AWOL. And today I'm going to try to make a arrowhead pattern that's different than anything I've done before. Started with the purple, blue. We're making a diamond in the center. I really like how that works. We're using the last of this particular group of colors. When I cut the string, there was enough for 3. So that's that one. Next is the green. And then what I want to do is put a diamond like that, like we did the last time, right? And then a diamond after it. So the next color will be yellow, and that has to go around both of those, and then it'll do the diamond and another one. And we know this is going to work out, right? We just have to assume that it's just going to be just like everything else, just, you know, slightly different. But at the same time, that doesn't stop us from having to do the work of putting in where the underlying string goes. That comes in handy sometimes when you're actually tying the knots and you can look and you can see like, oh yeah, this was supposed to change directions when it reached whichever color that might be. So this is going to elongate this a lot, and I'm no longer going to do both sides. I'm going to concentrate on just the right side because I can kind of copy and paste my way to having the whole thing done. So center this a little bit more. So pneumatically, this is very different. Normally the arrowheads I've done before, like the number of knots along this side always stays the same, like a 5-3 always stays that way. This one appears to be all over the place. There's a 5, then there's 3 out, and then 3 back this way, and then 4 inwards. It's that's going to make it a little bit more confusing when it comes time to actually making this. But that's okay. It'll be a nice challenge, something different. My mouse wheel seems to be doing weird things. It's clicking at points, and it's not supposed to do that. Weird. All right. Orange. Next color is the red. So the red comes in this way. Yeah, that's definitely weirder. I wasn't sure how the edges were going to look. Now that I'm kind of seeing it, I'm kind of like, wow, it's going to be a little bit more difficult. Mind you, I'll just watch the pattern as I go along to make sure I'm not making mistakes, but so after the red, chartreuse. I'm guessing it comes in here. Normally the colors will kind of line themselves up as you go along. But it's interesting how it does 2 of these. 2 of the single ones. I suppose that has something to do with the fact that we're using 8 colors or 16 strings to do this. That maybe if it was a different number, that maybe it would turn out a little bit better or different. Although I kind of wanted like this number of strings because it makes for a nice Kumihumo loop. But that's not to say we couldn't do this with like 12 strings going into the Kumi, so that would be like a 24 string bracelet. That would work. I don't know if it would change how it looks on the edges or not. Being kind of like both being even numbers, it might not change up much. Okay, so the next one's purple, which, if I'm not mistaken, should line up, whoops, perfectly with our one right there in the middle. How about that? It didn't surprise me that they would line up, because I've done this enough. I kind of know that these things sort of just work. Of course, I can't explain why. It's a mathematic thing, I'm pretty sure. But you do this after a while, and you stop being surprised by it at all. Oops, that doesn't... So it ends on the purple, right at the very end. Okay. Next will be that dark blue. So this, we need to follow it and see like the red change directions, that makes it bounce this way. And the yellow changes direction, makes it bounce this way. And then up here, this way. We gotta fix the red that we missed. Down here. To there. And then just follow along the side again. And each of our segments are getting smaller and smaller as we get closer and closer to having this thing done. Nice. Okay, next is our kind of a aqua green blue color. Very close to our normal background color, but I think it's just enough to kind of make out the fact that they aren't the same. I guess that can be this one. Okay, so after that one is the green. Pick it up where we left it off over here. A lot of zigzags. A lot of times where the string, yeah, it just bounce. Nope. I guess I just put it out there. All right. Back to the green, yellow. We left it here. Just follow it up, see where it ends up for the beginning of the bracelet. This is perhaps the part that's most important when it comes to the bracelet, is knowing the order that the strings start in. I would never guess that yellow was at the far end. I just had to follow the path and it did it for me. So there we go. Like, knowing what the colors start with makes all the difference in the world. Like, that's, you can't make a pattern work if you don't know where to start it or how to start it. And now the red. You notice each one is getting a little faster because each one was a little further up on the inside. And now the chartreuse or pink. Yeah, who would have guessed? Purple, blue, pink, red, aqua green, green, orange, yellow. It doesn't seem logical, but it works. All right, so now let's hide our swatch while we grab up this whole right side here. Copy paste, use our flip tool, flip it on the vertical line so we get it all like that. Now we have to just anchor the layer and merge it down. This anchoring and merging thing is something kind of new for GIMP. We didn't have to do that before. You'll see like in the older videos where that wasn't really a thing, but this is supposed to make it so that way undoing mistakes is easier. So anchor it and merge. And there's our bracelet. That is really, really cool. It definitely makes the pattern way more elongated than the one we just did. So this will be really fun to see as a bracelet how it turns out. So yeah, I will be working on that tomorrow, and we'll see how it goes. All right. Before I go, let me just quick thank my YouTube members for making this possible. All the string and the lights and everything, all made possible by these guys. If you want to help contribute, keep the channel going, it's really easy. It's $4 a month. It's the join button down by subscribe on YouTube. That would be awesome. I would appreciate it immensely. All right, guys, I will work this out. Oh, and if you haven't already, hit like. It helps out a lot. And as always, don't get your strings in a bunch.